Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is week 5 update of the Lenire device treatment for tinnitus. Well, this last week hasn't still been a great one. As you know, if you watched last week's video, I had a really rough week, and this week was a little better, but it still wasn't great. Still had quite a few days of 9s and 10s. But I did have some 7s and 8s in there too. It was probably a little bit more of a mixed bag this week than last week. Was just totally bad. Again, we still have had some super weird weather for middle of July, and up and down temperatures and a lot of rain. And like I said, I know that affects me very much. And so like I said, there's not a whole lot of difference between last week and this week, other than I see a little bit of improvement. But one thing that is worth noting for the device is I'm noticing something different with it. When I use the device, and it's been this way since day one, I don't think I've talked about this much, but when you actually put it on and you start the program, you know, like I said, the program lasts for 30 minutes of different tones and everything. And of course, you've got the tongue device in, and while using it, I don't care how bad my spike is. You know, it could be as bad as it gets. But while using the device, my tinnitus goes away. I can tell it really runs. I mean, it may drop down there to a 1 or 2, or it may even disappear, because while it's running, I can't hear my tinnitus. And for the last few years now, I've used sound therapy, you know, in like earbuds type things, and that has always helped me. Sound therapy helps me, but it's the type of situation, as soon as you turn it off, the tinnitus comes right back within just seconds, you know, of turning off the sounds. And for this device, it's pretty much been the same way for probably the last, like I said, last 4 weeks or so. You know, while using it, it really tames it down. Like I said, I don't even hear it while the device is going, and then when I turn it off, it kind of creeps, you know, starts creeping back in after shutting it off within just a few seconds. But this last week, I really started seeing something that I call definitely an improvement, and that is when I turn the device off, it's keeping my tinnitus down for a pretty good spell. And what I mean by that is, in fact, I timed it this morning after using it, and my tinnitus stayed down for 30 minutes in probably what I would rate a 2 to 3 range. You know, out of the 1 to 10 scale, it was probably in a 2 to 3, and it stayed that way for around 30 minutes. And then it finally started creeping back up. And I've seen it do that quite a few times now this week. When I turn the device off, it keeps it knocked down for a while. I've never seen that happen before. So to me, that is an improvement there. I surely haven't seen that happen, where it's keeping it knocked down for that long. And I think if I could get this bad weather out, I could go back to, you know, seeing probably even better improvements. But like I said, we are having crazy weather that, again, whether I was using this device or wasn't using it, I'd be in really bad shape with the weather, you know. But like I said, seeing this device, keeping this knocked down for, you know, 30 minutes or so after using it, before it finally starts creeping back, that's telling me something pretty positive, I believe, or at least I'm sure hoping it is. So anyhow, that's pretty much it for this week. You know, like I said, I sure hate we're having the weather we're having. I think I could be having a little bit more positive videos, but again, it's just been pretty rough around here, especially for middle of summer. But like I said, I am seeing improvement there. Next week, on my 6-week video, that will be when I have my second check-in with the audiologist, and you know, I'll be telling her everything that's been going on, and I'll report back, you know, whatever feedback she has as well. And she usually gives me an update on some of her other patients of how they're doing. So when I get that information, I'll try to get all that together before I make next week's 6-week video, and maybe I'll have more to share, you know, how some more of her patients is doing, and really hope I'll be doing a lot better as well. So anyhow, I thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned next week. We'll see what happens then. Thanks again.